Thanks very much for staying with us. Time now for Eye on Africa with me, Georgia Calvin-Smith. Tonight, a new day. Zambia's new president in waiting, Hakainde Hichilema, welcomes his predecessor's concession and urges an end to the political violence seen in the run-up to the election. He also slams the outgoing regime as brutal. Also, there are fears of ethno-religious violence in Plateau State in Nigeria after almost 24 people are killed. The Christian Irigwe people deny having opened fire on a convoy of Muslim worshippers over the weekend. And Cameroon hails the achievement of having finally readied itself to host the Africa Cup of Nations next year, as football lovers in Yaoundé prepare for Tuesday's big draw for the high-profile tournament. But first, Zambia's president-elect wiped away tears as he pledged to foster a better democracy than his predecessor. On his sixth attempt at winning the top job, Hakainde Hichilema beat President Edgar Lungu by almost 1 million votes. Lungu called Hichilema his brother as he congratulated him on his victory. However, the country's new leader in waiting slammed the outgoing regime for its brutality. Wasim Kone and Julie Chouteau have more.
It's nighttime in Lusaka when the news begins to spread, and soon there are scenes of ecstasy on the streets of the Zambian capital. Hours later, supporters of the newly elected president are still celebrating, thrilled to see Hakainde Hichilema finally elected president of Zambia. For the 59-year-old opposition figure, it was sixth time lucky.
It is with great honor, humility, gratitude that I stand before you today to say change is here.
The president of the United Party for National Development ended up winning 1 million votes more than his opponent Edgar Lungu, who has led the country since 2015. But now the hard work begins for Hichilema. Many Zambians have high expectations for the new president.
I think he's got a lot of work to do. It's the youth vote that has ushered him to State House, and he must immediately address the issue of unemployment.
You know, we have a lot of youth, a lot of teachers, a lot of doctors, a lot of nurses. New government, they have to look after them.
Hichilema will inherit a very difficult economic situation. His predecessor has been heavily criticized for borrowing too much money from China to finance major infrastructure works. So much money, in fact, that last fall Zambia became the first African country to default on its debt in 15 years.
Well, for more on Hichilema's win, I'm joined by Daniel Tonga from Lusaka. Daniel, so Hichilema's promised to do better than his predecessor. What do you take that to mean?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, Smith. Well, this specifically means that he's going to improve the economy. He's going to improve, a lot of things that haven't been going on well in the past administration. There has been, high unemployment in the country. There has been also, a high standard of living. The past administration, really focused so much on infrastructure development at the cost of improving lives for the people, at the cost of, creating jobs for the youth, at the cost of, improving the economy. So it really specifically means that the wrongs that were created by the past administration, this new government has really to make them right. So this is what specifically means to the entire country.
Now, we saw Hichilema getting a huge lead on Lungu. What do you think was behind the size of the swing in his favor this time, his sixth time of running?
Well, the massive win that Hakainde Hichilema has enjoyed, all means one thing. It means that people are tired of corruption in government. It means that people are tired of, respect for human rights in the country. Of lack of respect for human rights in the country. People are tired, of lack of respect, for the rule of law. There are so many things really that the past administration did wrong. And when you also look at even the freedom for the press, freedom for, assembly, freedom of worship, and many other freedoms, including the respect, for the Constitution, weren't really respected by the past administration. So really, voted for Hakainde Hichilema on hopes that everything that was done in a wrong way by the past administration really has to be made right by this, coming administration. So a lot of expectations from the people, and really it's a big job for the incoming president.
Now, the economy was really at the heart of the election, and we've already seen Hichilema's win having an effect on that to some extent, in that we've seen a really positive effect on the currency, the kwacha surging by the most it has since 2015. Why do you think that is?
Well, that specifically means one thing. It means that confidence began to build, from many investors who would really want to come and invest into the country. If there's anything that really has destroyed the past administration, is that investors didn't have much confidence. Hence, the loss of value in the local currency, the kwacha. Now, with this new coming administration with greater investment plans and with greater, plans of developing the economy, with greater plans of really improving everything that was not going well in the past administration, it really means that, Zambia is becoming into a country where, almost every person is going to be attracted. So in short, or in a nutshell, this surge in the kwacha really specifically means that people have started having confidence in the current government, that is the government of, Hakainde Hichilema.
Thanks very much. Daniel Tonga there for us, speaking to us from Lusaka. Well, in other news, in Nigeria, leaders from Plateau State are worried that a mass killing over the weekend could spark ethno-religious conflict. Police suspect Christian militia of having opened fire on a convoy of Muslim worshippers on Saturday and killing at least 23 people. A full curfew's been brought in Jos North. Jos has long been a hotspot for clashes between Muslim and Christian communities. Samuel Okoye tells us more.
Zambia, therefore, has prevailed.
The 24-hour curfew was hurriedly imposed in Jos, the capital of Plateau State, to prevent the city from slipping into religious crisis. The curfew is the outcome of the killing of 22 persons by a mob in the city on Saturday. The police say the victims are Muslims, and a Christian group from the Irigwe ethnic group are being accused of carrying out this killing. There's outcry from the Muslim communities. They are saying that Christians have killed Muslims. Some people are seeing this as a case of revenge attack. Early this month, people from the Irigwe ethnic group were said to have lost a number of their people, and the accusation was that the killing was carried out by Fulanis. The Fulanis are Muslims, unlike the Irigwes who are Christians, and this is seen as a religious problem between both ethnic groups. The situation in Jos is a reflection of the fragile relationship between Christians and Muslims in Nigeria. Nigeria has witnessed lots of religious crises that have claimed hundreds of lives. The country is divided between a Christian-dominated south and a Muslim-dominated north. The emergence in the north of some jihadist groups like Boko Haram and the Islamic State West African province have further polarized the division between Christians and Muslims in Nigeria. This situation has worsened over time, that some Christians in the Christian-dominated South are now saying that they can no longer live in the same country with the Muslims in the North.
Samuel Okoye there for us. A look now at some news in brief. Staying in Nigeria, 15 students and 4 members of staff have been abducted from an agricultural college in northwestern Nigeria. 1 policeman and 2 guards were killed by gunmen during Sunday night's attack on the college in Zamfara State. Analysts suspect the sharp rise in the number of kidnappings for ransom the country's seen is partly due to the rise in poverty caused by the pandemic. Ivory Coast is vaccinating health workers in Abidjan against Ebola after confirming the country's first known case in 25 years. 5,000 doses were quickly sent over by Guinea after a Guinean woman was hospitalized in Ivory Coast last Thursday. She'd crossed over from Guinea's southern border a day earlier. Her case is genetically similar to the 2014 and 2016 Ebola outbreak, which killed 11,300 people after originating in southeastern Guinea. The country was most recently declared Ebola-free in June. It's also said that it will start vaccinating against the virus. Members of the US Special Forces have arrived in Kinshasa to take a look at the potential for creating a local counter-terrorism team. The troops are supporting DR Congo's efforts to rein in insurgents from the Allied Democratic Forces, or ADF militia. It's linked to Islamic State and is believed to be behind dozens of massacres in eastern DR Congo over the last 3 years. And finally, Cameroon is psyched ahead of the next big step in its hosting of the 33rd Africa Cup of Nations next January. It's been 50 years since the country last received the competition, but all looks set. And the build-up has already begun in Yaoundé to Tuesday's draw for the 24-team tournament. Our team tells us more.
The posters are up, and the excitement has hit fever pitch. At this bar in Yaoundé, employees and customers can't wait for Tuesday's draw for the Africa Cup of Nations. On the eve of the draw, Lambert, one of the managers, is barely hiding his excitement. He's expecting more than 100 customers to gather here to watch the event live, despite the ongoing pandemic.
C'est l'événement qui nous permet également de gagner parce que nos clients, nos fidèles et prestigieux consommateurs viendront ici boire naturellement en vivant en direct de la retransmission du tirage au sort.
Just a few kilometers away, this group of friends is also impatient. They're looking forward to finding out whether the draw leads to any big games in the group stages. One of them has set up a Facebook page where speculation and prognostication are already running high.
Ma page me permet de partager des informations avec des Camerounais pour qu'eux aussi se sentent concernés par cet événement d'envergure. La répartition des équipes en chapeau montre déjà quelle configuration on peut avoir.
The draw will kick off the countdown to the 2022 Africa Cup of Nations, which is already making businessmen like Raoul very happy. In his Douala workshop, he's making custom-made football shirts for fans. And the orders just keep rolling in.
Depuis que ce tirage approche, on a environ 30 commandes toutes les semaines. On a la communauté malienne, ils passent leurs commandes. On a la RDC qui ont passé la commande. Toutes ces communautés aimeraient être prêtes le jour J. C'est l'effervescence totale.
And that same excitement has made its way to Yaoundé's convention center, where the draw will take place on Tuesday. It'll be the first Africa Cup of Nations to be held in Cameroon in 50 years.
Well, that's it for Eye on Africa for now. Thanks for joining us, and do so again if you can. Take care.